Okay, in this video we will solve a first order homogeneous differential equation problem. We have dy divided by dt is equal to y squared minus 3t times y plus 4t squared divided by t squared. And we'll solve this using the first order homogeneous. So with first order homogeneous, we say that v is equal to y divided by t, and then dy dt would equal dv over dt times t plus v. These are two important things to note if you're going to solve problems using first order homogeneous. So let's get started. So dy dt is equal to y divided by t squared minus 3yt, because this t would cancel with this and we would be left off with y over t. So minus 3 parentheses y divided by t, 4t squared divided by t squared would be plus 4. So we can write this as this. And now we're going to say dy over dt will equal this. dv over dt times t plus v is equal to y over t would be v, so v squared minus 3v plus 4, like this. And the next thing we'll do is transfer this v over to the right. So we would get dv over dt times t is equal to v squared minus 4v plus 4. And the next thing we can do is flip it, because if you see, we have dv over dt times t. What we want would be 1 over t dt divided by dv. This will allow us to separate dt with t and v with dv. Because when we have it like this, we can say the integral of 1 over t times dt is equal to the integral of this, which is v minus 2 raised to negative 2 times dv. And we're essentially taking the integral of this in terms of dt, the integral of this in terms of dv. So we get ln, absolute value of t, plus c is equal to negative v minus 2 raised to negative 1. We could say plus c here also, but they don't cancel out since they're arbitrary constant c. So we only need to put it in one side. We can do left or we can do right. I'm just putting plus c on the left hand side. And so the next thing we're going to want to do is let's say remove the negative. So if we say times negative 1, we also need to do times negative 1 here. So we would get negative ln absolute value of t minus c is equal to parentheses v minus 2 raised to negative 1. And we will remove this negative 1 by doing negative ln absolute value of t minus c. We'll say 1 divided by negative ln absolute value of t minus c would equal v minus 2, just this. And the next thing, we distribute the minus 2. If we say plus 2 here, we'll say plus 2 here. So we would get v is equal to negative 1 divided by ln absolute value of t minus c plus 2. And initially we said v is equal to y divided by t. So we'll bring this back. We'll say y divided by t is equal to negative 1 divided by ln absolute value of t minus c plus 2. And now we just simply say times t here, so times t over here. So y is equal to negative t divided by absolute value, divided by ln absolute value of t minus c plus 2t. And that's all we need to do for this problem.